Good morning. It's Friday morning. We're going to get the Jeep. Okay, so in the car, leaving, going to get the Jeep. Like I said, I don't think I ever told you guys what was found to be wrong. So they've had my Jeep for almost a week now. Wait, they have had it for a week because we dropped it off on Friday. So for like the first weekend they had it, like the first couple days, they couldn't get it to like replicate what I was having the issue with. So they just kept saying like, oh, just leave it, and then we're gonna just like let it sit and see if we can get it to die. And I was like, okay. I mean, I don't have a need for it right now, so y'all can keep it. So then they ended up figuring out like it died, and they were able to then test it because they were telling me it was like 4 different things. And then they tested it, and they were like, after they told me it wasn't my batteries, once it was able to die and then they were able to test everything, then they were like, no, it actually is your batteries. So we went ahead and we got the batteries through Jeep because they have a 3-year warranty, and I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that something is draining the batteries, even though they said there's no pull on them. So if I get the batteries through Jeep, they come with a 3-year warranty, and then if it doesn't fix it, I can turn around and be like, but I did what you guys said, so now what? And it's the ball's back in their court, essentially. So then they have to fix it again. So that's our plan. We're going to pick it up. Kevin has tires in the back of the truck for his lawnmower because he had to get new tires. So once he drops me off at Jeep and puts me and Lou in the Jeep, he's gonna head to the tire place. We're gonna head back here. I'm thinking it's gonna be probably around the time for Lucas' nap by the time we get back, maybe. And then baby. And then I need to run to the produce guy for like 5 items. So yeah. She's back.
So I stopped at the tire outlet here in town and asked them if they could swap the tires on my rims for my lawnmower. But unfortunately, they do not do that here anymore because they were breaking tires, is what I was told. But they did refer me to a golf cart seller down the road, so I'm going to go see if they'll be able to swap out my tires for my lawnmower. I'm headed back to the house. I found a tire and lube place here in town that says they'll be able to switch the tires out on the rims for me, but it's going to be about 2.5 hours. We'll see how long it actually takes. I'll keep you guys updated.
All right, I'm leaving produce guy. Did I get everything I needed? I think so. And there was a lot of people there, so I didn't get to speak to him. I just talked to his wife. That's who checked me out. And they didn't ask about the radishes, but I wasn't gonna like bring it up because I'm just like not a confrontational person, so I just left it. Anyhow, I got 2 sweet potato, I got 2 cucumber and an onion, and I paid $2. Sometimes I really feel like they just sell with their heart, unless you're getting like a bunch of stuff that they like weigh and it's by the pound. But if you just pick up like random stuff, I feel like it's very much like they just give you a price with their heart. So anyhow, Luca is down for his nap, but Kevin said that he's been vlogging a little bit with his stuff that he's doing today, so that will be added in for you guys. It feels so freeing to have my Jeep back. It's so nice. house. Love how close the produce guy is. I'm glad that we went ahead and grabbed my Jeep early. I'm glad that we got, I forgot to turn my auto shut off. I'm glad that we got Kevin's tires dropped off early because those won't take too long. So depending on the weather today, maybe he can get some stuff done today if he wants to. Maybe he can get the mowing done today, so it's one less thing he has to do on Sunday. Not sure. See what he's feeling, how he's feeling.
All right, it's been about 4 hours. They had a problem with getting the tires on the rim. When the tires showed up, they had cellophane wrapped around them, which kept them tight. So they let them sit out in the sun to make them more flexible in order to get the bead on the tire. But tires are here, lawnmower's here. Let's get this done. Well, that went faster than I thought, but the tires look great. They're aired up. I'm going to take this thing for a quick little spin around the yard. But for those of you who've never changed a tire before, this is a 5-lug tire. It's only a 12-inch rim. But when you have a 5-lug tire, you have to replace tire. But when you put it back, you can't just go in a circular fashion when you're tightening down the lug nuts. You need to start at a point, and then once you get that one tight, you move in a star configuration as you tighten them up. That way, you don't cause a wobble in your tire. You've tightened it down evenly for a nice, smooth ride. But that is it for the day. I'm gonna take this puppy for a spin and be ready for mowing on Sunday.
Everybody got a different form of dinner. So Kevin got buffalo chicken taquitos that are keto. I got buffalo chicken quesadilla. Luca got chicken and cheese quesadilla. Key got nothing. Good morning. It is Saturday. I almost said Monday. Feels like a Monday because Kevin is working today. So my mom is actually going to come over and hang out with Luca and I. We're gonna watch some more Bridgerton, making my coffee, getting ready to fix Luca's breakfast. Yesterday afternoon, I don't know what ended up happening, but I didn't end up filming anything after, I'm not even sure. I didn't film myself make dinner, but it was super incredibly simple. Does anybody else's Keurig just like scream at them till they unplug it and open it like it's got air trapped in it or something? So anyhow, last night for dinner we had buffalo chicken taquitos that were keto. Buffalo chicken taquitos. That's a mouthful. Anyhow, so you just preheated your oven. Was it? Yeah, you preheated your oven to 400, and then you put in mozzarella slices, like on parchment paper, or I used my silicone sheet. Those silicone sheets I love so freaking much. I bake everything on them and everything comes off of them. They're amazing. So you put your mozzarella on there and then you cook it for 5 minutes and let the mozzarella get like brown and bubbly. You pretty much like cook it into, I don't want to say like a leather because that sounds wrong, but like a harder but pliable shell. And then, oh, I put too much creamer in there. And then I already had already made my chicken. So I shredded it, added a little buffalo sauce to it. And then just put the buffalo chicken in the cheese once it came out of the oven, wrapped it around the buffalo chicken, and that was it. That was like your cheese shell around your chicken. Kevin loved them. For Luca, I made a quesadilla, and for me, I also made a quesadilla, but Luca's didn't have any buffalo sauce in it, but mine did. So that was pretty good. And then after that, we just went out front in our front yard and had like a little 1 hour play date with our neighbors. They have a son that is almost exactly a year older than Luca. So we just stood out there and talked to them and kind of like got to know them and let the kids kind of play in the front yard. So after that, it was time for Luca's bath time, and he immediately went down. Last night at like 10:45, we lost electricity for like 2 hours, and I was so confused because Luca's his camera in his room, like the monitor piece that we have in our room, started dinging, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? Because I was sleeping and it caught me off guard, and it took me a literal like minute and a half to like figure out what was happening. So anyhow, it was because electricity went out and the camera couldn't connect to the monitor anymore, so the monitor was going crazy. But yeah, it took them 2 hours to get our electricity back up, which was like, I'm thankful that they got it back up in 2 hours, but I was also like nervous as hell because I was like worried that the house was gonna get too hot, but it ended up being okay. So today my plan is, after I get Luca started with his breakfast here in a little bit, I'm going to start bread. So I'm gonna make 3 loaves of bread today. Oh, I'm glad to see, this is why I'm glad that I'm talking to you guys. Yesterday, I did a little shopping in the freezer because I knew that today's dinner was gonna be a lot of frozen stuff. So this is unfrozen, this is unfrozen. This still needs to thaw. These are good, and these still need to thaw. So today's dinner is gonna be not bad, but it's just gonna be a lot of steps. So I'm making collard greens in the crock pot, but in my crock pot collard greens, I add bacon and I add ham. So I've got my ham bone from the last time that we had ham. We got extra ham because it was buy one, get one at Publix, so like a ham steak. I've got a thing of bacon, which I think plan to put half of this in there, but I'm not sure, we'll see. Then I've got 3 bags of vacuum sealed collard greens that I had left over from the last time that I made collard greens. I've got my chicken broth that I put in my super cubes and froze so it didn't go bad. So as I need it, I can take it out of the fridge. I think most of them I have in 1 cup increments. Some are in half cups too, I think. But I knew that this was gonna take 3 cups of chicken broth, so I just went ahead and did 3 cups and then deep froze it. So I need to see when I need to start that, but everything seems to be thawed. I think the chicken broth is gonna be okay, a little frozen. But everything seems to be thawed except my meat for tonight's meatloaf. So, not bad. I was expecting everything to still be completely deeply frozen, but I'm loving this little tub that I got from Walmart. This is the last one that didn't have anything in it, and I was like, let me grab it and put all my meats in it. So I'm gonna start Lucas' breakfast, then I'm gonna start our bread. That way, hopefully it can be done and cooled for lunch for me. So I am on my third, I just put it in for the last 30 minutes for stretch and folds. And then, dang, it's gonna come out right before his nap. But I didn't realize that my bacon needed to be cooked for the greens. So I just threw that in the oven. So those could bake off and then it would be ready because I have to start the greens also at 10. Thankfully his nap was like 10:20. So hopefully I can get him to stretch that far. He's been pretty happy this morning. So I hope he had a really good day yesterday. So I'm hoping that it carries on to today and those really hard days are just kind of like done and over with. This is packed, but it will like work its way down. My mom just left. Kevin got off work and he's mowing as much as he can today because the heat index for tomorrow is, I don't even know, but they're claiming it's going to be 101. So who knows what it's going to actually feel like. So he was able to only have to work half a day today. He did our grocery shop, brought that home, and then I was like, do you want to try to get as much yard work done today while it's not 1,000,000 degrees? I mean, it is still 1,000,000 degrees, but it's less than what it's going to be tomorrow. And he was like, yeah, it's probably smart. Even though like right now it says it's 98, so only a few degrees cooler than what it's going to be tomorrow. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's worse. So anyhow, he's out there mowing the front currently. I don't know how much he plans to mow. I know he said he knows he can't get it all done today. I told him dinner would be ready around 5:15. I did the collard greens in the crock pot, which you guys saw earlier. And then I made a meatloaf in the oven. It's still in the oven. It has about 8 minutes left. I forgot that the meatloaf called for, I almost said raw bacon, but yes, raw bacon. And I think what threw me off is our meatloaf called for raw bacon, but the greens called for cooked bacon. So I only pulled out one bacon and I used it in the greens instead of around the meatloaf. So our meatloaf is baconless, but I think it'll still be good. So that's about to come out and then it needs to rest. Luca is on a hunger strike. I don't know. He only wants boob pretty much and like snacks. So like his crunchies, I think his teeth are bothering him. But he did not want his lunch, which was the same thing he had for dinner last night and absolutely loved. But he said, hard pass on that, Mom. So we're just chilling, waiting for his burps. Always sound like they're gonna be vomit, but they have not been vomit in a very long time. So we're just chilling, hanging out, cuddling, waiting for the meatloaf to be done. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've never made this without the bacon wrapped around it. I'm wondering if the bacon is what helps it keep its shape, because this is the ugliest meatloaf I've ever made. I'm not sure what happened, but holy moly, it is just a pile. It's a pile of cheesy meat. Then we've got our greens in here with the ham bone. I need to go ahead and take the ham bone out. It smells good, but this is ugly. Hopefully it's gonna taste delicious. It smells really good. All right, ham bone has been removed. Now the greens are off and not cooling, but I'm just gonna leave the lid on them and leave them in here. I don't think Kevin has seen my message about dinner, so me and Lou might have dinner kind of without him, and then once he comes in, because I have a feeling he's gonna probably work until the evening. Try to get as much as he can done today, which kind of works out because that way we can actually like maybe see him for a little bit tomorrow and he won't be out there all day. But that's the plan, to try this horrible looking meatloaf. Misshapen looking meatloaf, I should say, not horrible. Looks delicious. Smells delicious. Just looks like absolute trash. All right. I've given this a minute to cool off. I've unloaded the dishwasher from lunch. Let's see how this is. Something about this meatloaf recipe, even without the bacon, is so good. Like, it's the most tender meatloaf I've ever had, and I really think it's the milk. When making this meatloaf for the very first time, when I did make it with the bacon, it was delicious. But I know that when I was making it, I was like, milk? That's a half a cup of milk in the meatloaf? That's so weird to me. But it's so good. So last time I showed you guys the pork rinds that we used from Walmart, but these are the pork rinds that we like to get from Publix. They're epic, and then there's salt, sea salt and pepper. So these 2 bags made this much, which is not a lot. So I got our sushi sauce ready for tonight so that I don't have to do that. The shrimp are gonna figure themselves out. I've got our mozzarella shredded. I went ahead and made Luca some steamed apples. I got his pouches made for the next 4 days. And then I got Kevin's breakfast for the week made. He has to run to a grocery store and grab litter, so he's also gonna grab some sausage, like frozen sausage patties or links or whatever he wants. And then I'm gonna do those with his muffins for the mornings. But I've got his little containers pulled out. Kitchen's cleaned up now, right? Did I do all the dishes? Oh, I did. Amazing. So Luca's about to go down for his first nap, and then Kevin's gonna go out and finish yard work. He said, what do you have left to do?
You're talking about for mowing the yard?
Yeah.
I gotta do the front of the house, all the way around the house, and that's it.
Nice. So Luca's up from his first nap, and we just had lunch. Kevin is now mowing around the house. He just found a couple eggs out in our yard. We think they're the neighbor's chickens. So now we have 2 more eggs. We just got eggs from her the other night when the boys were playing. So kind of wild. But I had one of Kevin's muffins because even the recipe said that it only made like 6 muffins, but it ended up making 9 large muffins. So I gave him 1 muffin per day and then 2 sausage patties. And so his breakfasts for the week are made. But that left like 3 muffins. Or no. Sorry, I can't count. That left 5 muffins left over. So I ended up just putting them in a container and throwing them in the fridge because I'll eat them during the week. So they're very good. And I didn't do the 1 ounce of melted chocolate in them. I just left that part out because it seemed like it was unnecessary. At first I was like, oh, maybe it's because they aren't chocolatey enough. But then when I made them, I was like, they definitely are chocolatey enough. And the 1 ounce of melted chocolate, first off, didn't seem like enough to make a difference. 1 ounce. Second off, it's not keto because I didn't have like keto chocolate chips. I just had regular chocolate chips. So I was like, let me just omit that part. So I did. And they're great. They taste like chocolate cake. So it's more like a cupcake than it is a muffin. So I think Kevin's going to really like them. And I know like a lot of times like keto like muffins and cakes and stuff tend to be like more dry and like not moist, and these are quite the opposite. These are very moist and like not dry at all. So it's a good recipe if you want to do like chocolate cupcakes for someone that is keto. If you slap some icing on these cupcakes. What is the difference between a cupcake and a muffin? I'm not sure, but these are definitely like cupcakes. So anyhow, Luke and I are hanging out, and when Kevin gets done mowing around the house, I think is going to weed eat around the house, and then he'll be coming back in. And then we just plan to kind of hang out for the rest of the day. I'm going to make sushi for dinner tonight, but instead of like seaweed wrappers, I'm going to use my mandolin, and I'm hoping that I can get the cucumber thin enough for this to work. But I want to like mandolin the cucumber down and use it as like a cucumber wrapper. So we'll see. But I was on Pinterest while Kevin ran to the store because he had to go get litter earlier. And I saw a thing for eel sauce. So like a recipe for eel sauce. So I had him pick up some Mirin white wine from like the Asian cooking area at the grocery store. So I'm gonna try to make eel sauce tonight. We'll see how it goes. I love eel sauce, so we'll see. In my head, that was gonna go a lot easier than it did.
What?
Not vlogging. I was talking to Kevin earlier, trying to ask him a question, and just got straight up, not ignored, but slightly ignored. He was like, I thought you were talking to the camera. Now I am talking to the camera, and now he wants to talk back to me.
Like a little on-air sign or something.
Anyhow, this is what Kevin's sushi rolls have turned out to be. I was gonna do like the whole layer of the stuff, and absolutely not. It did not work out. So I made myself a deconstructed sushi bowl, which looks delicious. I also did not think that my eel sauce was gonna take this long to make, so I don't know if we'll be having it in today's meal or if I will be using it in tomorrow's leftovers, because it's just over here simmering away. I think it's almost done, but after it's done simmering, then it has to go down to room temperature. Well, the eel sauce was delicious. Plates are empty. I just have to now figure out how to store the eel sauce and how long it's good for. So hopefully it's good for a while because you don't like use that much eel sauce to like make things, like to garnish stuff. But oh yeah, it's definitely like the eel sauce consistency. Look at that. Wow. Good morning. It is Monday morning. Monday morning thoughts with Gabby. I aspire to be the mom one day that wakes up earlier than her kids and like enjoys her coffee out on the porch, has like nice alone time before they wake up. But as of right now, that is not me. I cannot get my life together while he is sleeping. Like, I put him to bed at night around like 7, and then I fall asleep at 9, so that's 2 hours to myself. And then I sleep from 9 to the time he wakes up, which is anywhere between 6 and 8. So this morning he slept until 8. And my immediate thought this morning was, dang, he slept until 8. And like, if I had my life together, I could have gotten up, you know, and like enjoyed some time alone, but like, I just could not wake up. Other thing is, I think it's time to make a new coffee creamer today. The other thing is, I feel like the days that I do kind of like try to wake up while he's still sleeping, I feel like the sleep that he gets in the mornings is like very light. So yeah, anytime I try to get up while he's still sleeping, and like make my coffee or whatever. There we go. He always ends up waking up. So in my head, I'm like, I kind of feel sequestered to my room because I feel like if I wake up, hey, yeah, that's the trash can. I'm gonna touch that. That's yucky. I feel like if I do ahead, I feel like I cannot speak lately. If I go ahead and wake up, me going into the kitchen and doing something as simple as making my coffee would wake him up, and then he would just be up early and I wouldn't get any alone time. So yeah, I just feel like I might as well sleep in. That's my thought process. So not me moving my coffee maker into the bathroom. Honestly, I could do that. I could just carry it in there. It's not very heavy. Anyhow, I'm going to fix his breakfast here in a couple minutes. And then today's Monday, so it's like mopping and kind of cleaning the house, like cleaning the showers and stuff like that. So tonight I'm making keto corn dogs. I'm interested to see how they're turning out. I'm actually like frying them, so pray for me. But I think they'll be good. So I've mopped, got my shower, started my laundry for the day. I'm about to move Kevin's laundry out of the dryer and bring it back into our room. I have a meal planned for next week. I've got 6 dinner time recipes, a breakfast for Kevin, which I'm hoping will make enough breakfast for me also, because I've really been enjoying having the extra muffins that were left over from his breakfast this week to have as breakfast for myself, because I need to, if his breakfast isn't going to make enough for me, I need to start meal prepping my own breakfast also, because otherwise I have an issue with finding something to eat in the morning that's kind of like quick, already prepared, because in the morning when I lay Luca down for his first nap is when I usually get my stuff done around the house that I need to get done. But that means I don't have a lot of time to like cook myself breakfast or like do a in-depth breakfast for myself. I need something that's like ready to go, just need to heat up, can eat really quick and move on. So, yeah, that is what I have figured out. It's noon. Luca is still sleeping. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for lunch for him yet. I need to look in the fridge. We have a lot of leftovers, but I also need to clean the fridge out and go from there. So my room's a little bit of a mess because I've got all the stuff. I did like a deeper mop today, so I really moved everything off the hardwood floor to mop it. So my default is to just shove stuff in our room. Oh, Luca just woke up. So I need to go grab him, figure out what I'm gonna do for lunch for him, and get the house put back together. All right, I steamed 2 more apples for Luca because he already ate the other 2 apples that I steamed on, when did I steam those? Yesterday morning? Did you eat 2 apples yesterday? Maybe. So anyhow, 2 more apples have been steamed. I made him lunch. He kind of ate some of it, kind of not. My not simple syrup, but my coffee creamer syrup that I'm making for this week is back here cooling. I don't know what that film was on the top. I'm guessing it was probably from the chocolate chips, because the only thing in here is butter, water, white sugar, brown sugar, and white chocolate chips right now. And then once it cools, then I can put in the extracts that go in it, which is almond and vanilla. And then that is a sugar cookie syrup that I'm gonna use for this coming week. So that's exciting. I refilled Luca's Cheerio knockoffs that we use, and this is what was left in his box. So I added another box to the grocery list. This, having him in the glass jars, worked out so good. So anyhow, we're going to play now while my coffee syrup cools and his apples cool. And then at 3, he'll go down for another nap. All right, Luca is up from his nap. I have prepped the sweet potatoes to turn into sweet potato fries, so they are over there. And I am getting the cheese melted because that's the first step to make these keto corn dogs. So, melting my cheese in 30 second increments. Got my avocado oil already in here. I'm about to put all of this stuff in here. So in here goes my mozzarella. And you guys saw me already make the dry mixture. So, right, in goes my mozzarella. Yes. Mozzarella and this mixture. So this is gonna go ahead and form my dough for me, which this dough is very similar to the dough that I make. Oh, definitely didn't mean for that to crack like that. This is very similar to the dough that I make when I make the pizza, so I'm interested to see. All right. So it says to just combine it in here until it's doughy. To me, it just seems like the mozzarella ball is ballin'. It's like kind of combining, but also kind of not at all. I feel like kneading it with my hands would have done a better job. All right, the corn dogs are now fried. I'm hoping that the breading is all the way done all the way through, and that the hot dogs are warm, because that was a whole new experience for me. And I don't ever fry anything, so I made a mini one for Luca, and then I made one for me and 3 for Kevin. Also, the sweet potato fries are done, so I'm letting them kind of, I guess I'll leave the door open for a second, but I'm letting them kind of cool. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, cooking wise, but that dough definitely needed to be just like hand done, not in the food processor. So I'm kind of annoyed that I got my whole food processor dirty and it didn't even help. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut Luca's open so it can start cooling and we can take a look at it. It's definitely, okay, well the hot dog is warm, so that's good. That's what it looks like on the inside, so not bad. Looks like a corn dog. All right, I have my corn dog with my ketchup and mustard. Luca's eating his dinner. He likes both of them so far, so that's exciting. These are very crispy. I just worried that the dough is too thick because I really could not get it to as thin as it was saying it needed to be. So let's give it a try. Oh, it's all bread. All right, take two. That tastes like, this tastes like a corn dog from the fair. So I fried it in avocado oil, which is my first time using avocado oil. I guess it has like a higher smoke point, but like, y'all, what the heck? This is delicious. This must have been one of the ones that I got that was like pretty thin. Wow. Well, he liked the hot dog and he liked the sweet potato. Sweet potato. Kevin got called to a service call, so we have no clue what time he's gonna be home tonight, which kind of sucks because I wish he was able to have these while they were hot, because I feel like they probably won't be the same if I heat them back up for him, like in the microwave or whatever. So that part kind of stinks, but at least he has homemade corn dogs when he gets home, you know? Good morning. It is, you guys need to be tilted back a little bit. That's better. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning and we have a new coffee situation this morning. So for the first time, we just have coffee syrup. So I'm gonna pair it with milk because I like my coffee a little milky, some kind of dairy base. So this is sugar cookie syrup. So I'm hoping it's gonna be good. It was pretty okay and easy to make yesterday. Coffee's brewing. I also just don't know like how much to put in, because obviously you don't want to put in as much as coffee creamer because it's more like a concentrated coffee creamer. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. And now maybe I need to get a little pumper. How do I clean that though? It's pretty good. It's very subtle, but like I said, because I usually go by the color of my coffee, that's how I know when to stop putting in creamer. I don't know when to stop adding this because I'm like, it could be sweeter, it could be more powerful, but then I'm like, I don't want to put too much in it. It's definitely enough. I can taste it now. It's good. It, like I said, it's very subtle. It's more of like, I don't know, maybe I should Google like yeah, I need to get a pumper because I'm like, it would be so much easier if I could just be like, yeah, just 4 pumps of this and in your coffee. So anyhow, it's exciting because I have a couple different like copycat dupe Starbucks syrups that I want to make. So this wasn't one of them, I don't think. I'll have to relook and make sure that this wasn't a Starbucks dupe, but it's good. It's not as like in your face as all of the other creamers that I make. I like it. Would I make it again? This flavor, probably not. There's nothing like special about it. So it's sweet, it's good, but not like, wow, out of the ballpark. I look crazy. So I've got our sheets and comforter in the washer. I took a shower. I went ahead and laminated, which I showed you guys. I wanted to time lapse it one day, but I feel like every time I do it, there's something else going on that I need my phone for. So I laminated all of our new recipes for next week and got them put in my binder, like hole punched and everything and organized in the binder. So that's ready to go. So that means tomorrow I can make my master grocery list, and then Thursday when the ad comes out I can look at everything for that. I got the bedrooms vacuumed and just like our room picked up. So Luke is down for his first nap. He was exhausted this morning and I'm not sure why. He slept great last night. So he went down for his nap a little bit early, which means he'll probably wake up a little bit early, which kind of sucks. But anyhow, that's an update of what's going on right now. Tonight for dinner, I'm making hamburgers with keto bread, and we finally got some radishes. They're just regular radishes. They're not any like special radish. We got them from Publix. So I'm going to chop those up and air fry them tonight and see about if we like them. So we'll see. I changed my nose jewelry, and I kind of want to get my nose pierced on the other side also, so it would be like a double piercing. And then I want to get an actual plain hoop for here. Just random thoughts, but
are you ready? Oh. Ready? Are you ready? 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 Come on! Are you ready?
I'm ready to try this radish concoction
yeah.
with bacon.
Yeah, I didn't add bacon to mine. I forgot. So let me tear some off my burger. So
Cheers. Mmm. That's good.
It's not bad. Do I like it as much as potatoes? I don't know, I kind of like it.
Mm. It's almost like cauliflower.
The cheesy radishes are
There it is.
pretty good.
All right. Let's try this bread.
Yeah, Kevin has cheese bread.
That is good. Mmm.
Hello, everybody. I'm pretty sure that today, this is the first time that I'm vlogging. Wow, I hate windshield wiper fluid. Luca and I are headed to Walmart. Oh, man. Okay, I'll have to look at the situation once we get to Walmart. Forgot I have the stroller in the back. I'm like, Luke and I are headed to Walmart. Meant to take the stroller out so my back was completely open. But I forgot. That's okay. So, anyhow, we're headed to Walmart. I got a pickup order of some stuff that we needed. Some mason jars. Some fun things for this summer that I've thought of, and yeah, I may get a little like sweet treat while I'm out. I don't know yet, so we'll see. But other than that, I have just been doing stuff around the house all day today. Today's kind of been going by pretty quickly. It's already almost 1 o'clock. And I am just like preparing for tomorrow for my family to come over. Tonight I am making keto pierogies for dinner. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But other than that, feels good to have a car again that's dependent. Knock on anything I can touch. So, yeah, anyhow, we're gonna go get the Walmart order, then we'll come back and unload everything. Not sure what time Kevin's gonna get home today. He's working kind of far away again. They've got him working all over currently, so I never know. Like, every day I have to ask me, hey, where are you gonna be at? So, yeah, that's my update for today. It's been kind of low-key, kind of just relaxed. Nothing too crazy's been going on. Once the car cools down and I can turn the air thing down, I will update you a little bit more about some other things. All right, so we're here at Walmart. I'm hoping Luca's gonna be chill while we wait for the person to bring out our stuff. But I was thinking about last night. I was talking to Kevin, and I've been on Facebook Marketplace because I have been looking for like furniture and stuff. He's getting pissed. I may have to start this back up once we start moving again, because I have a feeling he's not gonna be okie dokie. We are back home now, obviously, and I never caught back up with you guys after our Walmart pickup order, so we didn't have to sit there for very long. But something about like the back of the Jeep opening up, like the trunk opening up, scares Luca half to death. He absolutely hates it. So when I had to open up the back of the Jeep for our Walmart pickup order to be put in, he lost his absolute poop. So then the drive back home, I was playing all of his favorite songs and he was singing along to them, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop this to like talk to you guys. I'll catch up with you guys when I get back home. So anyhow, back home, he's down for a second nap, which he fought a little bit, just because I think that mainly like his little second wake window we were in the car and then we came home, and then he wanted to just like cuddle and breastfeed. So he didn't really like play hard or like walk around a lot during his second wake window. So I think he was just like tired, but not like exhausted quite yet. So, yeah, he's down now though. So I was starting to tell you guys about our plans that Kevin and I talked about last night. So, we have like, obviously, I told you guys when we first were moving to this house that, we wanted to do like kind of, not a lot of upgrades, but we wanted to like make the house more like our style, because it's a custom home, but it's not a fully custom inside home. Does that make sense? The floor plan was custom, but like the rest of the stuff isn't really custom. It's all builder grade. So Kevin and I were talking, and we were talking about how we haven't heard from them about our cabinets and about our pantry floor, but Kevin and I were talking last night, and we were going over kind of what they told us about the pantry, and how they said that they were going to have to take out our wire racks, and like we were going to have to completely empty the pantry because they have to pull the baseboards out and they have to pull the flooring out and figure out what's going on with the actual like concrete in the pantry, and then they have to fix that, then they have to lay the floor back down. So I kind of have been thinking about what I want to do in our room, and I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace. My brain just like hops around, so I hope you guys can just buckle up and stay on track here with me. I've been looking a lot on Facebook Marketplace because I'm trying to find the perfect bed. Now, the issue that I'm having with this perfect bed that I'm looking for is I know what I want it to look like in my head, but I'm having an issue finding it in the size that we want. So we want a king size bed, but the vibe that I'm going for is kind of like vintage grandma boho oddities, which I've said that before, and it's very like weird vibe, and moody. Also throw moody in there. So like I have a couple like saved Pinterest things on my like bedroom vibes board, like inspiration board or vision board, if you will. And I have found a bed on Facebook Marketplace, but the person is selling it with nightstands that go along with it, like it's a bedroom set. And the bed is a queen, which we have a queen now, and we wanted to update to a king because our room is definitely big enough. But also, I've never had a king bed. But now that we have been sleeping, I swear to God, this is weird. Now that we've been sleeping in our queen bed here at this house, it feels bigger than it did at the rental. So I'm like, do we really need to get a king bed? It would be nice, but like, do we really need a king bed? So I've been looking online, and I haven't been able to find quite the bed yet. I found a couple headboards that are my vibe, but I really want like an actual full bed frame. I don't want to have to buy like a bed frame off Amazon and then pair it with a headboard, like a vintage headboard that I find, because I feel like the colors won't match and it won't be like what I'm envisioning. So I'm kind of just like holding out. I watch I've been watching Facebook Marketplace like daily to try to find something on there that I want. But in the midst of that, I have been finding other vintage pieces that I'm like, that's cute. So yesterday I found this vintage bench that I thought would look really cute on our front porch. And I almost hopped in Kevin's truck and drove like an hour away to go and like pick it up. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I really think that I eventually want a big swing on our front porch. It was $250, which is a little steep. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna hold out, save that money, and keep looking for like my next thing that I want. So while I'm still vision boarding our bedroom, because I want to get like a solid plan before we start executing things in here. And I feel like I need to start with the bed and then go from there. So while I'm still figuring out in here, Kevin and I were talking about the pantry last night. So, obviously, you know, we have bookcases in there right now that we are using to store our food and stuff. That's what I have a lot of my mason jars on. And Nico. And so we don't know how they put in the wire racks. We don't know if they put the wire racks into like studs, if they properly hung them, and we're not loving the wire racks. They all only also gave us like 5, so it's not enough for what we have. So in my head, I was like, ooh, let me curate my perfect pantry and let's execute that first. As in like the first redo, not like the first thing that we do here at the house. So that's what I'm kind of working on now. I have found a piece of furniture that I really like. It's very expensive, so I'm kind of unsure about it. And it's the vibe that I want, but it's not the price that I want. So I'm holding out on it. I need to go in and I need to measure the pantry and even see if that piece of furniture would fit. I kind of have a feeling the piece of furniture may be too big to fit in there, but like, let me tell you like what's in my head. So when you walk in, I want the back wall where our wire racks are, I want there to be like a buffet or like a hutch, one of the two, vintage, older, wood. Now, if it's a buffet, then I want shelves above the buffet. If it's a hutch, then it'll fill that whole back wall. Then going down the right side when you walk in, we're going to do our own wooden shelves up the wall. I'm not sure like how deep and everything we're going to do those, but that's the vibe. So I just want it to be like cute. I want everything to have like its own little personal touch here at the house. I want it to look like something out of a magazine. That is like, I want it to feel like a home. I feel like right now it's very basic. It's getting there. Things are getting there, but nothing is like decorated. Things are just placed places. I feel like our living room and our kitchen have like come together, minus the backsplash. But I feel like the main area is getting there, minus things on the walls, but I don't really want to like junk up the walls per se. So I'm still being very particular about like the vibe that I want to go when it comes to hanging stuff. But like furniture wise, I feel like it's done in the center of the house. So now let's like breach out. Now let's like move out to like the bedrooms and the other rooms. So yeah, that's my like plan right now. I'm working on vision boarding our pantry. So I've got a couple things that I have in my head that I want. Like, I really think a vintage spice rack would be really cool to like possibly hang above the buffet, or along one of the walls. I want to do like an herb drying area for when we start our garden. Like, there's just things that I'm finding on there that I'm like, yes. So it's going to be like a mix of like farmhouse, but not too farmhousey, because I had a farmhouse vibe at the rental and I don't really want that. But I want like vintage farmhouse where it's like a lot of old wood and like reclaimed wood. I'll take a screenshot of the the buffet. I'll take a screenshot of the buffet that I was really in love with. And that way you can kind of get like the vibe of the buffet that I'm looking for. I'll keep you guys updated as I like hone in on my vibe, but so far I'm really loving it. And this kind of stuff excites me. So I need to relook at like my antiquing slash Goodwill slash thrifting list that I have and re-update it to like what I'm looking for, because I don't feel like it's changed per se, but like I feel like I'm honing in more on the vibe that I want for this house, which when we first moved here I wasn't really sure which way I wanted to go. Now if I can get stuff for free and then customize it to how I want it, then I feel like it would change a little bit. So like, by saying that, I mean like the entertainment center. It isn't really like, it is, I love it. I love it so much. But it's not like the antique-y vibe that I'm going for in the rest of the house. But it is something that I really, really love. So it's kind of going to be a mix of just like my personality and like what I'm currently loving right now. I have to go get Nico because he's being a complete asshole right now. Okay, so I just used my phone and like the measure app to try to measure the wall that's in our pantry to see about how big it is. And I'm thinking I'm going to need a 4-foot buffet. And the one that I absolutely love is over 4 feet. It's like 4 feet and like 6 inches or something. So it's too big, which is a blessing and a curse. A blessing because it's very expensive, but a curse because I really did like it, but it will not fit for what I'm imagining. I'm also the kind of person that said that I wasn't going to do wallpaper, but I have now thought, so my plan for our bathroom is, for the time being, not changing the color or anything in the bathroom, but I want to change the color of our room possibly. And in my head, I was like, how am I going to make it flow? Because we have this hallway here, and I feel like if we painted the room, it would be really awkward for the paint to just end like up against the hallway. So I've been looking at like wallpaper that would transition the room color into the bathroom, and I found a few that I like, but none that I've been like, wow, this is absolutely it. But I'm honing in on like that vibe also. So anyhow, I was also thinking like, how cute would it be to like have wallpaper on that back wall, or like a real focal point on that back wall is what I was thinking, but I'm not sure. I also just went in there and looked at how they have the stuff screwed into the wall, like the metal shelves that are in there now. And each metal shelf bracket has 2 screws, and when we take those out, we're going to have to drywall repair the holes. So that's going to be annoying, but thankfully I don't think it'll be too bad, hopefully. So we'll see. But a little sad about the buffet, but also kind of happy because almost $600 is kind of a lot. This honestly may be my first kind of fail. Wow, I'm surprised our smoke detectors didn't go off. Everything was going good until the shallots started burning, because they didn't last 2 batches of frying the pierogies. Like, the thing didn't mention like, hey, maybe like take your shallots out after the first batch, that way like your butter is flavored but the shallots won't burn. So now I have a pile of burnt shallots. I've got pierogies that look like biscuits. I don't know how this is gonna go. Thankfully I had a late lunch, so I've got leftover filling So it told you to mix cheese with butter and microwave it, and then it told you to take it out and like mix them together so they like mush together, but the butter would not mix with the cheese because the cheese wasn't a liquid. So then it said to put it back in and then take it back out, and then you add eggs, and then it said to mix until the eggs incorporated. Well, the eggs incorporated with the butter, but not the cheese because the cheese is not liquid. So then I added the almond flour to it and mixed it, but then the cheese would not mix with the almond flour because the cheese was not liquid. So my pierogies look nothing like the photo. I'm hoping that they're cooked all the way through. I'm hoping that Kevin likes them. My shallots are burnt. This was a mess. I don't think I will be making this one again. I love pierogies, but like this is not it. Hopefully Kevin likes his dinner. Obviously I have way more than these 3, but I thought 3 were a good one for a picture. This was an absolute mess. Good morning. It is Thursday and I was a little behind. I wasn't behind on my meal planning, but I was behind on my figuring out my grocery list. I didn't do that last night. Like I didn't make my master grocery list. So Luca's down for his first nap. I already got my shower. I've got the house kind of cleaned up and ready to go for my mom and my grandma to come over. They're going to come over today, have lunch, and hang out with us for a little bit. I did my master grocery list, and then I did my actual Publix list. I did my farmer list for my produce stand, and got all that knocked out this morning. So just kind of waiting to hear from my family to see when they're heading this way. And then we're just gonna hang out for the day. Nothing too crazy. Bridgerton, the second part of season 3 came out, but I think I'm gonna wait because I've got something coming up that is happening that I'm gonna need something to look forward to. So I think I'm actually gonna hold off and wait to watch that during that time. So I've got a little something to keep me going. So anyhow, my mom and I will be watching, she's on season 2 right now. So we'll be watching a little bit of season 2 today. Tonight for dinner, I am doing leftovers. Last night, those pierogies kicked my absolute ass. I cut my finger while doing dishes last night. And then that resulted in me having a slight minty bee and crying. Kevin had just walked through the door, so he was like, what is happening? And I'm like, it's okay, I'm okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm having a small breakdown, but like I feel like I just need to cry. So had a little cry, got a little cry in, and then Kevin and Luca played outside for a little bit. Then they came in, we did bath time. Luca went down for bed, and yeah, yesterday was a weird Wednesday, and like it was a good Wednesday minus the pierogi situation. But Kevin said the pierogies were delicious and that he would definitely want to eat them again, but he's like, next time we'll make them together like on a weekend. And I was like, that sounds much better. Even if like he doesn't help me, but he's just watching Luca and I don't have to worry about like tending to Luca or like making sure that he's not choking or that he's happy while I'm making them, I think will be way better. It was just overwhelming as a whole. So I'm hoping that this coming week, the recipes that I picked aren't as overwhelming. We'll see. This coming week, I'm doing everything bagel chaffles for breakfast for Kevin and I. I've got banana muffins for Luca in the freezer, so I'm going to defrost those. I'm going to do a butterscotch coffee creamer, which I love butterscotch. I'm not sure how butterscotchy it's gonna be, because I feel like a lot of these coffee creamers that I try are the same coffee creamer over and over, and someone else is like, oh, I'm gonna name this vanilla bean spice cinnamon Cool Whip, but it's the same coffee creamer that I made with the same ingredients that was named another thing. Like, they all kind of taste the same. It's all the same ingredients over and over again. So anyhow, we'll see if the butterscotch is actually butterscotch, because I'm like a granny when it comes to butterscotch. I love hard butterscotch candies, so I'm hoping it's going to emulate that, but we'll see. For like Luca batch for the week, I'm going to make him pepperoni pizza puffs. So I'm excited about those for him. He is a little Italian baby, so anything with red sauce, he's like... The dinners during the week, I'm going to do a creamed cabbage casserole, chicken and dumplings that are keto, and that is, I believe, an oven recipe. Beef and green bean casserole for something a little different. Crock pot cracked chicken, which is always a good go-to. It's always very simple. With those, I'm going to make Kevin some rolls, some keto rolls. Keto jambalaya, which I love a jambalaya, so I'm very excited about that. And I was going to make a tenderloin, but I'm actually now thinking more about making ribs on Sunday for Father's Day, because Kevin loves ribs. And I already have the ribs in the freezer, so... And then with the ribs, I'm going to make homemade keto fried green tomatoes. So our farmer friend has some green tomatoes that he has been selling, and I keep looking at them, and I'm like, I love fried green tomatoes. So I'm going to try my hand at frying my own fried green tomatoes. So we'll see. And then I'm also going to make bread this week. And I think I might go back to the other recipe that I said that I didn't like and give it another try. Because something about the bread that I made last week, I'm pretty sure, just like didn't tickle my fancy like it did before. So I think I'm going to bounce back and forth between the two of them. Also, my rolls that I made last week, like my bread loaves, were weirdly small, which they haven't been small. And I think I might have accidentally somehow skipped a stretch and fold and didn't let them like rise all the way, and I baked them too early, I think may have happened. So my plan is to make the bread on Sunday while Kevin's home, and that way I can just, let it do its thing. And this one that I make is the one that I let rise for like 2.5 hours and don't touch. So there's no stretching and folds until the very end. Whereas my other bread recipe, I stretch and fold every 30 minutes for an hour and 45 minutes. So I think somehow I got messed up on my last making of the bread. It's still delicious. It's just not, I don't know, it wasn't like the loaves weren't as big. They're very small sandwiches that I've been making. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the other recipe and then give it one more try. So that is my meal plan for this upcoming week. I don't know how much more you guys will see of me today. Kevin said that he may have an early-ish day because he has to run some errands towards the end of the day, like picking up product and stuff. So he is going to be like making his way back towards where we live versus like working far away. So his drive time won't be as long. His drive time's been about an hour and a half recently. So he's been getting home around like bath time. So hopefully he'll be able to make it home a little bit earlier tonight, and we can have an early start to Father's Day weekend, which is exciting. We don't have any big plans for Father's Day weekend, but I'll go over that in the next vlog for you guys. So we're just kind of relaxing, chillaxing. I don't know. I'm gonna let Luca finish his nap. Hopefully my family will be headed this way soon, and we'll do lunch. I'm excited to not have to cook today. Just kind of like relax for the day. Clean hair, don't have to cook. The house is pretty clean. My grocery list is done. Just have to edit the vlog later tonight, get that uploaded. But if this is the last you see me today, I will see you next week. If it is not, I will see you in the next clip.